As a young girl from Arkansas, Jennifer Dean always dreamed of success. A natural risk taker, she always believed that where you focus is where you go. In 1993, she had an idea that was designed by a higher power. She set out to move through time and space to make this goal a reality.
Got something to say. Get out of my way. I'm here to stay. And you can't stop me. You can't stop me.
Get out of the boat and walk on the water. You got to take a chance in life, and some of us don't realize we may not drown if we get out of the boat and walk on the water. Try it. All you got to do is try. You never know what you'll accomplish if you try. You know, if we take the limits off, we can accomplish so many things. So about 27-ish years ago, I was on my way home from another job. We won't talk about which one it was, but I hadn't been there that long, so it probably doesn't matter anyway. And I decided that I was going to figure out how to take the limits off. I was on the tollway, and that's expensive for somebody who just left their job, meaning I didn't have a job. So paying 75 cents for a toll was going to be difficult. And I think at that time it was probably 50 cents. I found that in the seat. So I was driving down, and just so happened I was trying to figure out how I was going to explain to my husband that I quit my job. And I was on my way home, and I thought, it's time to take the limits off. How are you going to do that, though? You know, because everything inside of you says, I can't. But I doubled up with, I can, I will, I can, I will, I can, I will. You know, if you say those things so many times and you put it out there, it's probably going to come to pass. So I kept driving, and I kept saying, I can, I will, I can, I will. I know I will. I'm going to take the limits off. What I kept asking myself is, other people can do this, why can't I? My answer was in my mind, which is mind over matter, because it was certainly controlling me. You don't have any money. You don't have any experience. Why would you want to get out of the boat? I said, because the boat's going to drown sooner or later anyway. So if I don't get out of the boat, I'm never going to be able to learn if I can walk on the water. I told you earlier I make up imaginary friends, and I did have somebody in the front seat with me. He said to me, you can do anything you put your mind to. It's just a matter of moving through time and space, and you can get it done. You can take the limits off, because where you focus is where you go. If you focus on a I can't, you never will. If you focus on a I can, you always will. Now, I was in Houston, a good little piece, up by the airport, and I lived in Katy, Texas, where we think we had an NFL team out there. So I had to drive a piece. It was about 45 minutes of a good conversation with the person sitting next to me who said, I know you can. By the time I got home, I had to explain to Mike, first, I quit my job. That was the first thing. And you know, when you live in broke, skip a check, broke. You don't come in to say, I quit. Now, if you said I got fired, it'd be a different story altogether, because they feel sorry for you when you get fired. But when you say I quit, they go, what's wrong with you? I went in and I explained, this is what I'd like to do. Now, when you say it, you got to be able to back it up. Again, where your focus is where you go. And I decided then and there. So there are things about myself I knew. I knew I had a limitation with, I had to have some discipline for getting out of the boat and walking on the water. I had to have a little bit of, I say husfa. You got to have something that says push, push, push a little bit more, push again. So I decided that I was going to change my stinking thinking. I was going to get up every day like I was going to work. I put my suit on, I put my pantyhose on, I makeup, hair, the whole works. And I walked around the corner to my bedroom, and I started working. I worked all day from 8 to 5. It was my job. It was my career. It was my get out of the boat, walk on the water moment. I did it. I did it for at least 3 months. That's probably all he was going to give me before he said, either they're going to put us out or we're going to have to pay something. But I'll never forget, because God is certainly very good. I'll never forget the first month. The first month, because I had a call from a client that I had before, and he said, Jennifer, where have you been? And I'd been anywhere. I'd been in that boat. I'd just been sitting in the boat in the deep water. And I told him, and he said, I need your help. I said, let me try. I did. And then I had to get paid because you got, if you work, you want to get paid for it. And I kept saying, one day I walked to the mailbox, I bet you 52 times there was a trail all the way back and forth of me waiting on that check to come to prove that I got out of the boat and I was going to walk on the water. The mailman usually ran around 2. At 4:10, I saw him coming. And I thought, now is my time to prove that I can run on the water now because the check was in the mail. That was my first check. That was the first time I had gotten paid for getting out of the boat. And I absolutely changed my stinking thinking. So here's the other thing I had to do. So I said earlier, where you focus is where you go, but who you are around is who you are going to become. If you ever want to figure out what type of character you have, just check yourself. Check who you are around. Check the kind of people that say, oh, you're not going to accomplish anything. Check the people who don't push you a little bit more and say you can do anything you put your mind to doing. Because if you can dream it, you can do it. But I will tell you this, the dream is outside the boat. It's not in the boat. And I'm going to tell you, one of the things I have a great deal of confidence in is that I can, and I know I will fail once, twice, maybe 3 or 4 times. But the one thing about failing is all you got to do is get back up and try it again. What you know about failing is if you make a mistake, you make a big mistake. You learn from it, you grow from it, and you make it experience. You don't wallow in it. You don't keep doing it over and over again. What you do with that is you say, I'm learning something new and I'm going to grow from it. Growth is it's expanding your box. I'm not going to even tell you to, they say, get out of your box. I don't want you to get out of your box because I think you are uniquely made for you. I think you are a part of the puzzle that's a unique piece. And without you, the puzzle is incomplete. It'll never be a complete picture without you having your unique piece. You have to have confidence to know you will fail. I have many times. I've made some decisions that I wish I could take back. I've hired people I wish I had the money I paid for them. I will tell you over and over again, I can tell you, I've made some decisions that were probably not my best decisions. Those were probably the decisions I made without prayer, without thought, without having the ability to say, I've thought through this. Once you move on emotion, and when you are driven by emotions, you tend to make mistakes. You tend to say things you didn't mean to say. So I will tell you, my challenge was being able to say, get up and try it again, get up and try it again, get up and try it again. I can and I will, because where I focus is where I go. So I will tell you, I'm going to speed forward a little bit because almost 28 years later, I can look back to that day on the tollway trying to find 50 cents in my seat to pay for the toll. And to be able to say to the person I love the most in the world is, I'm gonna quit my job and I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna do something that is in my mind that I think I can. I'm gonna take the limits off. I'm gonna get out of the boat. I'm gonna run on the water. If anybody's seen the shack, he ran on the water. He didn't just walk, he ran on the water. Because where you focus is where you go. And if you're sitting in your boat right now, and you're thinking about it and you're saying, I really want to get out of the boat, let me just tell you, focus on where you're going. Don't focus on the water. Focus on where you're going. Because if you are able to get out of the boat, there is an opportunity just waiting for you. Because for every challenge, there is an opportunity. And don't think you won't have them, because you will. But one of the things I know for sure is once you get out of the boat, and no going back to the boat, you will be walking on water.